Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this episode of TechWay. This is another edition for TechWay, and I'm so happy to have every one of us here. I'm so happy for everyone that's going to be watching this. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching this episode of TechWay. Thank you so much for our returning subscribers and returning viewers, our returning participants. Thank you so much for coming. I know that you have been enjoying past events, past webinars, past informations that we have been disposing, we've been giving out there, and I'm sure that we've been impacting lives. Now, if this is your first time for joining us on TechWay, please subscribe. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, and in the description box you'll be seeing our newsletter. Kindly also subscribe for our newsletter, because that is where you'll be getting the information about our events. You'll be getting information on any opportunities that we know that is very valuable for you, regardless of or any part of digital technology space that you would want to go into. Okay, today with me I have someone that has been creating a lot of impact in the digital technology space. But before I introduce her, I'd like you to know that TechWay is proudly sponsored by Thought Promotions. Now, Thought Promotions is an inspirational and impact-driven program and platform that is designed to help tech entrants to find their path, and not just find their path, but to thrive when they find their path in this ever-growing digital technology space. We provide so many opportunities, we provide so many informations that can help you grow as you decide to follow your path in the digital technology space. Now, I wanted to introduce our talent of the day to you. She's someone that has created so many impact in the digital technology space. She has built so many products. She has built products that has worked for real people. These are products that have solved real problems and have been used by real people. She understands what it means to do something and build products that works. She's a senior product manager and the author of a book titled A Non-Technical Leader's Playbook, and it is none other than Zainab Azeez. Zainab Azeez, you're welcome to TechWay.
Hi, thank you, Anu Oluwamepo.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, you pronounce that very well. So many people don't know how to pronounce it. It's Idowu Oluwamepo. It has a rhythm to it. Yes, you caught it once. It has a rhythm to it. It's so nice to have you on TechWay today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's get right into the program today. Now, I'd like you to introduce yourself, and while you introduce yourself, also tell us what got you into the tech space first.
Okay, thank you, Anu. Is it okay to call you Anu for short?
Yes, definitely. It's okay. My name is too long to call it.
That many
just cut it short.
Okay. Thank you, Anu. Okay. My name is Zainab. Thank you. I got into the tech. I would not call it a coincidence, to be fair. Okay. I started off in university. I studied education English from Obafemi Awolowo University. I met, or I had a lecturer who was very interested in my life. I don't know why. He just wanted me to do well in life. And he ensured that immediately after uni, I got an internship. And that was how my life started. I got an internship as a junior business analyst, and I was literally doing everything from business analyst to operations management to project management. I didn't know I was doing, but I was doing it still. And I found myself in different training sessions. We were training people at that time in a consulting company I worked for. We were training people on project management, and it was so interesting. I'm like, this is my daily life. I manage my life as a project. And from there, I just started hearing about people doing product management, and I read about it, to be fair. I read about project management, and I narrowed it down to product, and I did a training. Thankfully, or not too long after the training, the company I was working for decided to build a fintech.
Wow, interesting.
And the CEO said, you are going to product manage it. And that was how I started. And I took it like it was my life. I was doing it. I was, of course, struggling because I didn't know what I was doing. There were a lot of technical language and all of that, and working with engineers. It was a totally different, a new ball game for me. But I did it still, and I did it afraid. And we launched the product, and the product is still in the market now.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a brief summary of how it all started.
Interesting. That's actually a very interesting entrance into the digital technology space. Would you say that you found it quite easy to get into this space?
It was okay. It was orchestrated for me. It was like God planned me to be here actually, because I knew that I wasn't going to do anything with education. Maybe I would indirectly, but I did not think that I was what I was going to do as per my career in life. And all of a sudden, I was in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. And I will call that ease because, yeah, I think it was easy for me to get in. It wasn't,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Okay, so let's dive right into let's deep dive into product management, right? And the first question I'd like to ask you, what does accessibility in digital product design mean to you beyond the textbook definition that many product managers or many people looking into the product management space will get? I hope you understand that question.
Yes. If I get clearly, you mean what does accessibility in a digital product mean beyond what we
Yes,
have to find on
yes,
Google and everything?
yes.
Thank you. For me, accessibility is respect. I like to start with saying that. It is respecting that people are out there that want to use your product beyond ideal people. So when I say ideal people, I mean you and I. It's beyond making it accessible to a layman that can speak and write and use a digital device. There are people out there that cannot read and write, but they also want to use a digital device. So for me, I always like to say accessibility is acknowledging that there are different people with different abilities, with different contexts and challenges, choosing to use a product that still works. So as a product manager, as a sponsor, or a product owner, what are you building? You're building you're building a solution. You're providing a solution to a problem. How accessible is it to people? I'm not talking accessible if I can download it or Play Store and App Store. Yes, I can have access to it that way. But how are you ensuring that people with inability or some cognitive overload, people sometimes you just find that as little as anxiety is not little, but anxiety might cause some sort of fidgeting, right? So for me, accessibility is respecting that there are different people out there that actually want to use your product and ensuring that you are building for them and building for everybody, including them as your user. I think that's a quick way to say it.
That's well defined, and I really appreciate that. I hope many people that are looking into this space will be able to differentiate that it's not just something, it's not just a product. It's an ability for many other people to access that product. Now, there's another aspect of accessibility that I would like to ask questions on. So would you say that accessibility is just a design requirement, or is it also another advantage that businesses can thrive on?
It's not just I used to say accessibility or including accessible features is not just a good to have,
Okay.
it's a must have for your business. You have to intentionally ensure that at the ideation stage, at the stage of thinking and being strategic on what to do, developing your user flow, you are including that context of accessibility in it. So I'm talking, how can I, as a product manager, ensure that when people come up on my app, when I say people now in this context, I mean everybody, how can they come up on my app and remain on there? Not drop off? Because as a business, a requirement for you is to ensure that you are reducing drop-off rates. If, for example, I pick up my device and I try to do something on there and it's just not responding, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm automatically, it's a red flag because I'll drop it.
Yes.
It could be as little as the font size. It could be as little as the color scheme. Now, it's a business requirement because one thing we need to know is when there is a continuous drop off on your app, you are losing users. People are not using your product anymore, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. You are spending because you keep increasing revenue. You have to pay the staff. But nobody is thinking what's causing our users to drop off. You're noticing that at some point in the onboarding, people just stop using it. So if you intentionally, as a business, include accessibility, ensuring that all of your features, all of your designs, as everybody can use it, like I said, font size, it might be really tiny, but how about us including something that you can just magnify it if it's small for you to read? Before you know, the person is saying, oh yes, I like this. I don't have to wear my glasses or my context or my contact lens to use your application because I can increase the font size, I can reduce the contrast in color, right? This way you have, as a business, you have, of course, your customers are staying on your app. You have built strong brand loyalty. People will talk about it, about this feature, and before you know what's going on, everybody is coming up to say, okay, what is this brand everybody is screaming about? What are you guys doing differently? And that's what makes us stand out as a product. What makes you stand out is, what am I doing differently? What solution am I what solution am I providing? What problem am I solving that is unique to my customers? And of course, most importantly, you are improving the usability of your product. And that overall affects and influences the business outcome, because if it's not translating into business outcome, there's no point. We are all wasting our time. Everybody's happy to say, oh, I just built that. But one of my mentors will say, how is this converting into money? And if it's not converting into money, what do we need to do differently? It probably means that users are not even enjoying the app at all, or you are not solving the problem. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
Yes, I do.
But I think businesses need to start seeing it as an advantage, because of course you are now strong in the market. The competition is stronger. Anybody that is coming to copy what you have done would copy it, but of course you have the first to market advantage that is forever there. Let me use an example. Piggyvest and Cowrywise and all of those products were probably the first to get into the Nigerian market to build fintech solution or financial solution. Now there are millions of them out there in Nigeria, in Africa, but people are very loyal to Piggyvest and these other Cowrywise because they got into the market first. And of course, that's already a base. Whatever we are then building, or whatever guys are building now, they are building it on the idea that these guys have set already. So that's a very good competitive advantage that you already have as a product who has decided to include accessible features or include accessibility in their development process.
Okay, so now, being a product, like a user, as an average user that I am, when it comes to using apps, I do use Piggyvest. I use a lot of fintech apps. Now, there are some things that we cannot take away from that. Now, if you talk about accessibility, that means your users are being included. Your users' persona, their challenges. You mentioned something about fonts. I do wear glasses. Now, if a font is too small, definitely I can't use that. If probably this color is too bright for my site, I probably cannot use it. If it does not speak my language, if the language is not what I speak, obviously I cannot be able to navigate through the product and access it, right? Now, has there been a time in your life whereby you worked on a product and you believe that, it has not been inclusive enough and accessibility to that product is not even enough for the users?
Oh yes, 100%. because for product there is always about, I mean, for agile product management is about iterating and rebuilding and fixing things and getting it right. When I started off, like I said, it was very frustrating. I was just doing everything because I was watching YouTube videos and I was following what my YouTuber was saying. I was just enjoying it, right? But I was doing absolutely, I don't want to say, but I was not doing the right thing because my engineers will just follow your lead because you're the product manager, but not all of them will intentionally give you feedback. Right, so we were building, right? I was excited. We were having stand-ups, we were having sprints. I was using all of these words, and I'm like, don't play. I'm doing tech stuff.
Yeah.
But it wasn't it wasn't making sense, to be honest. It wasn't making sense. And we launched the MVP and we launched the minimum viable product. It was out there. We were excited. In fact, we had like a little launch party in the office. But after launching a product, the reality sets in because the sponsor is not the investor is not looking at your numbers. It's looking at how many downloads do we have? Who are they using it? What are they saying about it? So at this point, we already launched, yeah, and it didn't make sense. The numbers were not making sense, and we're spending money on marketing. That's a must. Customer service, they were always there. But one thing I noticed was customers were not coming back to say, "Oh, I'm experiencing this issue." They were just dropping off. And before we know what's up, that was it. It will increase, it will decrease. I was very worried because I know that most importantly, we needed to ensure that people were staying and using the app, right? So, of course, we took the app down. We took it down. I sat with my team. I became a baby. I said, yes, I am your product manager, but can you teach me? So, of course, let me chip this in. As a product manager, you cannot stop learning, whether it's from your engineers, whether it's from your customer support team, whether it's from the marketing team. You need to intentionally like call on strategy sessions and everybody's discussing what can we do differently. And then we noticed that the issue was in the color scheme. Just imagine. It wasn't that we're not solving any problem or the features were not working. They were working, but the colors were it was just contrasting. It wasn't making sense. The colors were not people. So what we did was we took a survey, and in that survey we called random people, friends of the company, to use the app and give us genuine feedback. And over 70% of the feedback related to color.
Wow.
Color and that's always, I'm quick to say font size, color and font. It was just a turn off. And I looked at the app and I said, oh, that's true. And of course, there's a place of doing like a competitive analysis. I looked at other users or other applications out there and I could tell the difference. That, of course, I've not even gone into the detail of accessibility as a context of including people with disability. It's just basic people. Basic people were not using it. So what we did was we took the app down, like I said, we rebuilt. We had a different UI process or user interface. The experience was different. And then we relaunched quietly. We could not open, we could not come and say,
more party.
oh, we are here. we could, of course, there's no shame in it because but because you're a fintech application, you cannot be joking with people's money.
Yeah.
So we just relaunched, and this time we included everything we thought was necessary based off of the feedback that we got, and it got better. It got better. Download increased to like 5,000 in a month, and I was like, okay, I think I'm getting a hold of this product management thing.
That was interesting. I mean, for a first time, that was quite a challenge, and I can just imagine how you felt through that process. Okay, so another question I would love to ask, because this is a team thing. What you saw now, or what you explained now, your experience that you had, is something that many teams experience and they don't really take note. Now, I'd like you to highlight a few mistakes that you feel like, and the common one, not just the specific one, the common mistakes that you feel like product teams make and they don't quickly realize that they've made such a mistake until probably the product fails.
See that point of product failure. Let's not even go product no failure.
Do you not
But
feel?
yeah, that would be for me. Would be based off of my personal experience. People might also have their different experiences, and I think they
Mm,
should be free to share that in the comment section. It would be when you design or you build a product for your own self, based off of what I want. My eye can I see this font on my screen? Yes, then
mm,
it's good to go. Does this color do they make sense for me? Are the text or the language, the choice of words, do they make sense for me? If it makes sense for me, it makes sense for the developer, it makes sense for whoever is designing it, I'm happy with it. Because fintechs or companies or product managers or building a product, you really intentionally want to pay attention to your users and, of course, do a very robust research. It makes sense for me if, in my second point, I was saying we had to get feedback from people. And that's one thing that I never joke with. I want people to test this product and give me genuine constructive feedback, right?
yes.
And one of it will be, of course, we were designing for our eyes alone. It was perfect in my eyes. So it's
Mm,
definitely perfect for everybody. And that's a very major mistake that we all make. Another would be we were because at that time I don't know what video I watched or the course I took. And let me quickly chip this in. It's not the video or the courses you work that will be practical in your product. Different product, different style or
mm,
different approach to management, right? And the cost was talking about how to ensure that the all of the screen is in one place. The screen is sizable, everything is there. And yes, that makes sense. But we were squeezing everything in. It was too much information there. So,
mm,
of course, it now became vague. We were not communicating to our users. It made sense to us because we are the builders. I understand the process, the product like the back of my hand, but my user doesn't. So, squeezing in text for us was something that eventually affected us. The font size were very tiny. We were communicating the name of the feature based off color or a symbol. We are quick to use symbols in designing. We use a symbol to represent this. But sometimes a brief description of what that feature is all you need. So we
mm.
were not doing these things. And that, of course, was a very, very major thing that affected both products to engineering to marketing. It just affected the whole team as a whole.
Okay, thank you. That's interesting. Thank you for that very, very concise answer. Um, so I'll be asking you a few other questions, probably like 4 to 5 because of our time. Um,
Mhm.
Now the next question that I would love to ask. Now, the idea, what I do understand about accessibility is the fact that users can use your product, right?
Mhm.
And you have different products and different users for each product, and you cannot say this is a particular a specific kind of a user for any product, because you definitely want many people to use it, enjoy it. You want it to solve solutions, solve problems for many people. Now, what has been your approach when you design products for users with different abilities, or would we say particular limitations or different limitations? How do you put them into the context of your product while you're designing it?
Great. And I ask one question, just one question. Who gets excluded from using this product if we design it this way?
Okay.
So if I've asked that question, if I ask myself, I always talk to myself a lot. I'm asking myself, if we design it this way, this my designer has done this. It's good, I like it. But who is that one person, even if it's just one person, that is part of my target market that cannot use the product because of this is how it is? Then I'm going to go back to my drawing board. Now, what I do is after I answer that question, I then have different personas representing different abilities. So I don't want to base this conversation based on disabilities alone, but for example, I'm building an ed tech lab. product. Say I'm building a education platform, and I want everybody. Education is for all, right? Whether you are disabled or not. Of course, I said I have different personas. I have those that are not disabled with no disability at all. I put them in a sector, in a segment. What I'm also considering is my environment, the environment of this person now. Now, I have somebody who is blind that wants to study, that wants to learn. Being blind doesn't should not exclude me from using a platform that is solving, or an edtech platform that is solving a problem. What can we include? Now, the question who gets excluded if we design this way already answers, and I've already provided answer for an edtech platform. A blind person will not be able to use this. So what can we introduce? Voice control.
Right.
That automatically solves it. If what you are teaching about is algebra or something, there is already a voice and these guys have very active senses, right? Once they listen to something, it sticks, it stays. That way, you have included voice control. They can listen to it. It might just be a tiny podcast in the app, and the person, whoever is reading it, is just reading it. We also want to ensure that's for the blind. That already solves the problem. If that is included, that would be great. It's a must-have, not a good to have. A must-have for. If you notice, product nowadays would have dark theme and light theme. That solves a lot of problem. That solves the problem of lightning. Some people don't like it I personally don't like light screen.
I don't use light screen. It's always on dark mode.
It has to be dark mode. So if you have developed a product, a really good product, but there's no dark mode there, you have automatically lost me as a user. Even if I like your feature, I will not come back because the light is too much. It's too bright.
Yes.
So you want to ensure that you are including users with diverse background. It is a product for all. It's not a product for some. So you want to ensure that even when your team, because the team will come back to you and say, no, this is not possible. This will take us a very long time to do. We can start small, and that's why we are agile. But we have to include these guys in our build, because you'll be surprised that they might be your largest user. You'll be surprised, because if I can see, or if I have all my senses actively working and I see what you have on your products in terms of content for an edtech, I can as well go elsewhere to get another information. But what makes me stay is I'm on the bus, I'm on the train, or I'm somewhere, but I can listen in to what is educating me.
Yes, interesting.
You get what I mean?
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so you mentioned something while you were talking about this inclusion, and you said sometimes your team will come back and they'll say, oh, this is too big, or this can be, it takes time, right? Now, I've heard multiple times that accessibility slows down innovation. When you are trying to include many people, your users of different abilities on your innovation or on your product, it might slow down the innovation. What is your response to that? And I'll kindly answer that in 2 minutes. That's almost like
answer that
in 2 minutes, yes, because of our time.
Yes. Okay. I like to say accessibility does not slow down innovation. In fact, accessibility helps innovation, because your solution is not complete if it's not usable by all your target market. Like, if everybody that you are targeting cannot use your product, then there's a problem. You need to check what's going on. So then what's innovation if you're not solving all the problems? You're not being innovative, you're just wasting time. So how about you begin to think about, okay, as I'm being innovative, who exactly am I speaking to? Am I reaching out to with this solution? How am I including them? It's not slowing me down. Yes, it might take a while. And that's why, like I said, it's okay to launch the small bit of it, the MVP of it, and then you can grow gradually. We do not have to launch a robust product at the same time, but we have to be solving the problem gradually.
Great, great. That was perfect. Now, one final question before I ask you to round off. How do you connect? Because now this, when you're talking about accessibility, it's more about you being passionate about your product. It's more about being passionate. And sometimes people will say passion does not feed a person, right? When you are passionate, it doesn't really put food on your table sometimes. So how do you connect accessibility and innovation together in a way that it does make financial sense? And when you've done the passionate side of it and you are putting it in a product, at the end of the day, you get a financial return for that work you've done. How do you connect?
Let me start by saying that before you launch a product like that and you're very passionate about all of the feature being accessible to all, your stakeholders will call you in for a meeting. I tell you, they'll ask you that, how is this resulting to conversion in terms of revenue, in terms of profit? What you want to do first as a product manager, you have prepared your, what's it called? You've prepared like a slide, a live demo session to show them that, imagine, say for example, we have 20 million people that by XYZ year, they would be old. Say for example, in a couple of years, I'll probably, not a couple, like in a long time, I'll probably be old. How are we ensuring that our product stands the test of time? What data do you have to validate all of these things? If you do have data and you see people out there, you want to put yourself on the street as well. Go to the street and talk to people. Go to different disabled location where we have people with disability, NGOs with disability, pitch your ideas to them and be involved. Your passion is beyond writing or presenting or managing. It is on the street because that's where your users are. So go on there, get the numbers, show it to your business stakeholders and watch it perform its magic, because indeed you're actually solving a major problem. And if you are not solving a major problem, then of course it will not result to conversion in terms of revenue or make business sense. But if you are, and you have put in the good work, it might take a while, but it will come through. You will see it and it won't take too long.
Interesting. Thank you so much. Now, a final question. We have so many product managers looking up to senior people in your cadet or in your stage right now as a senior product manager. What are one word or one sentence that you would advise them when it comes to this field that they can hold on to for the rest of their journey in this?
It would be never stop learning. Never stop learning. Things are evolving. Things are changing. Artificial intelligence is here. And guess what? It is here to stay. So you had better pick up pace and keep learning. Keep learning. My own learning, the way I learn is listening. So I'm always listening to one product podcast or the other.
Me too.
There are loads of them out there. So if I'm somewhere, I'm listening, you're talking to me, I'm not listening to music. I'm nodding my head because it makes practical sense. So trust me, never stop learning. Subscribe to platforms that help. There are a lot of free platforms out there, and TechWay is one of them. So you want to ensure that you are subscribing, you are learning, you are staying up to date, and most importantly, please join a community, because you don't want to be outdated and you cannot be a one-man island.
Yeah,
you want to have people that you have to. Let's leave it there. I hope that helps somebody.
Yes, it will definitely help somebody. And like she said, TechWay is that platform that you want to subscribe to, because we are not just a platform, we are a community. In fact, we do have a WhatsApp group that provides information. Aside our newsletter, there's WhatsApp group whereby you get instant information of programs, opportunities that you can grab onto, educational platforms that you can access. If there is something, there's a promo going on, there's an opportunity that is open for just a short window of time on TechWay, you would definitely get the information. Thank you so much, Zainab, for honoring this platform and for your words of wisdom, for your experiences that you've shared with other product managers. We really appreciate your time, and we hope that you come back soon when you have enough time and when we have enough time, because there are so many other things that we can
Yeah,
discuss.
yeah,
Thank you so much for
absolutely,
your time.
absolutely. Thank you so much for having me,
You're
and have a
welcome.
good time.
And
Yes,
you
take
too.
care.
Please, if you have not subscribed to
Please.
Thoughts Promotions, kindly subscribe. Kindly subscribe so that you can be up to date with all our programs. Till next time, I am still your host, Anu Oluwamipo Idowu. Bye. Bye.